Let's begin with chapter number 7 from your history book of grade 7, and the name of the chapter is Rise of the Vijayanagara and Bahmani Kingdoms. Disintegration of the Delhi Sultanate. We have already came across this in our previous chapter. The Delhi Sultanate reached the zenith, that means the highest point of its power during the reign, that means the rule of the Tughlaq dynasty. Yet, this very dynasty showed the seeds of its own destruction, which made the final collapse of the Delhi Sultanate inevitable, that means unavoidable. The cause of disintegration of the Delhi Sultanate are as follows. Already we have came across these points, then also let us take a brief explanation from here. The failure of Muhammad bin Tughlaq's vision schemes drained the treasury and depleted the government's resources. Agriculture and trade suffered a severe setback. The misery, hardship, agony, or you can say irritation of the people towards the government at that time. The army suffered a heavy casualties. They were not paid much, right? Revolts broke here and there throughout the Turkish Empire. Independent and powerful kingdoms were established in the Deccan, like Vijayanagara and Bahmani kingdoms, Rajasthan, Bengal, and Sindh. And this delta, you can say, this dealt a body blow to the Tughlaq Empire and set in monitored the process of this destruction. Firoz Shah Tughlaq lacked the basic qualities of military command. His weak foreign policy demoralized the army and discouraged the enemy, you can say, to Sultanate. Okay, then Firoz Shah was a very kind ruler. His kindness towards corrupt officers and even criminals weakened the administrative and sapped the, you can say, the power of the state. Okay, the death of Firoz Shah was followed by a civil war among the descendants, and there was also a huge loss for the government. One by one, the powerful governors of the provinces, like the Tughlaq empires, declared their independence. Finally, the empire was reduced to only Punjab and the areas around Delhi. The final blow to the Tughlaq dynasty was dealt by Amir Taimur, the Mongol ruler who invaded India in 1398 to 99. The mercilessly plundered, that means looted, looted Delhi. And thus, the last nail of the coffin into the Tughlaq dynasty had been hammered in. The sun had finally set on the Tughlaq empire. Now, with this, we come to an end, that the Tughlaq dynasty came to an end with the final blow given by Amir Taimur. Okay, totally put in the coffin now. Now, from here, we are going to start that from this Tughlaq dynasty, or under this Tughlaq empire, there were two independent powerful kingdoms now. Those who declared themselves as independent kingdoms long before the Tughlaq dynasty disintegrated. Okay, when Tughlaq dynasty was actually existing, that time itself they declared themselves as independent kingdoms, and Tughlaq dynasty could not do anything. Okay, these two independent and powerful kingdoms in the Deccan, the Vijayanagara and the Bahmani kingdoms. As the Sultanate broke up, North India was rocked by political turmoil and instability. In sharp contrast, South India enjoyed a period of stability and prosperity for last more than 200 years. Okay, as because they are having this independent, you can see in the map given here. Yes, you can see Bahmanis and Vijayanagara. All these are lying towards the south. So North, with the disintegration of the Tughlaq dynasty, North was feeling or facing lots of turmoil period, but already you can see Bahmanis and the Vijayanagara kingdom was established because they recently declared themselves as independent kingdoms and they were ruling these states properly. Okay, they were not facing any kind of problem with the disintegration of the Tughlaq dynasty. The Vijayanagara kingdom. Vijayanagara, that is the city of victory, was established in 1336 CE by two brothers, Harihara I and Bukaraya I, and on the banks of the river Tungabhadra. Okay, the two brothers fought many wars with the neighboring states and brought the whole of South India from the river Tungabhadra to Cape Comorin under their control. The Vijayanagara kingdom was ruled by 16 kings. It was one of the most powerful Indian kingdoms that lasted for about 230 years. Okay, Krishnadevaraya. Now these are the kings who ruled Vijayanagara kingdom. Vijayanagar kingdom. Let us begin. The greatest ruler of the Vijayanagar kingdom was Krishnadevaraya. Krishnadevaraya in 1500, between 1509 to 30 CE. During his reign or rule, the Vijayanagar kingdom reached the height of its glory and established itself as the strongest military power in South India. Krishnadevaraya was a brilliant military general. Okay, he was excellent in controlling the army force. As he won a series of outstanding victories and extended the boundaries of his kingdom. He annexed, that means captured. He annexed the Raichur Doab, the perennial bone of the continent. You can say contention between the Vijayanagara and the Bahmani kingdoms. Okay, then Krishnadeva encouraged foreign trade with the Portuguese. He is who had established trade center in Malabar coast. He earned rich revenue by imposing custom duties. That means one kind of tax. As the Portuguese were coming to their place for the business purpose, for trade purpose, they were charging taxes like nowadays our present government does. So they were also taking taxes for the business purpose, custom duties and other taxes on them. He took active steps to promote agriculture. He also developed irrigation facilities by building dams and canals. Okay, dams and canals are the ways by which artificially we give water to the fields, the fields which are getting cultivated. Okay, artificial way to supply water, this is called irrigation. Okay, for irrigation we need water, and this water they were used to take from the dams and they used to build canals. Canals means a big, you can say, pipe kind of a thing from which the water is getting transferred from one place to another, this transformation from one place to another. Okay, for this was basically for agricultural purpose. He also developed irrigation facilities and built dams and canals. Uh, Krishnadevaraya was a great patron. Patron means he was, you can say, a great inspiration. Okay, now of art and literature. He was a fine Telugu poet and a Sanskrit scholar as well. He maintained the magnificent court and encouraged poems and learned men. So he was a learned, that means he was a educated, he was a cultured person. Okay, Krishna Deva was a great builder. Many beautiful temples and impressive mansions and were built during his reign. The most outstanding of these were the Vitala Swami temple and Hazar Rama temple. With the passing away of Krishnadevaraya, the glory and power of the great Vijayanagara kingdom faded away. Faded away means it started decreasing. Okay, his successors were weak and incompetent. That means incompetent means they were not capable of fighting with others and keep on holding their powers. In 1565 CE, during the reign of Rama Raya, the five kingdoms of Bijayapur, Ahmednagar, Berar, Golconda, and Bidar formed an alliance and influenced a crushing defeat on the Vijayanagara kingdom in the Battle of Talikota. So you can understand that these five regions were under this Vijayanagara kingdom. Now they are fighting against their own king. That means these few states got together and they were fighting against this kingdom so that they can establish themselves as a independent kingdom. This battle sounded the death of knell of the Hindu kingdom in the south. The splendid capital city of Vijayanagara was burned, plundered, and ravaged by the victories. You can say that as other people won the battle, these five alliances won the battle, they totally burned this capital. Okay, because they were no more ready to accept the dominance of Vijayanagara kingdom. The Vijayanagara kingdom survived the crushing blow and continued to exist till the beginning of the 17th century CE. However, it never managed to regain its former power and glory. So these five alliances, as they came out from this kingdom became very weak. Lots of loss was there. Means that you can say the revenue also got decreased. Okay, and they lost their glory also. But this kingdom was existing then also till 17th century.